Most guys get rejected not because she wasn't interested, but because of how they approached her in the first place. Let that settle for a second. You see, attraction isn't just about looks, money, or even confidence. A lot of times it comes down to energy, delivery, and timing. You could be the best guy in the room, but if you approach a woman the wrong way, she'll shut it down before you even get a full sentence out. Here's the part most men miss. Women rarely start off fully interested. In fact, most women decide after the first few seconds of interaction whether you're even worth entertaining. That means how you approach her can literally make or break everything. The problem? Most men either come in too soft, trying to be overly polite, vague, or hesitant, or they come in too hard, trying to impress, show off, or force chemistry. And neither of those work. Why? Because they're based on insecurity, not intent. If you want to attract a woman, even one who seems uninterested, you need to understand how to read the room, how to shift energy, and most importantly, how to show up in a way that makes her curious, not cautious. That's what this video is about. We're going to break down what most men get wrong, what you need to change, and how to approach her in a way that makes her stop, engage, and actually feel something in your presence. Not tricks, not corny pickup lines, just real strategy, real awareness, and a better understanding of the psychology behind connection. Welcome to the channel, fellas. If you're tired of guessing what women want and ready to actually learn how to attract them with presence, not pressure, you're in the right place. Let's break this down. Here's how to approach her, even if she's not interested yet. 1. Stop chasing, start challenging. Let's get one thing straight right now. Chasing a woman who's not showing interest is one of the fastest ways to kill attraction. Why? Because it screams insecurity, and women can smell that from a mile away. Think about it. When a guy starts chasing, what's he really doing? He's trying to prove his value, hoping she'll eventually see it. He's overcompensating for the lack of mutual interest. He's reacting to her energy instead of holding his own. And here's the kicker. Women don't want a man who bends his identity just to earn a few minutes of their attention. What they actually respond to is a man who challenges them, not in a rude or arrogant way, but in a grounded, confident way that says, I'm here, I'm present, but I'm not going to beg for your validation. Let's say you walk into a bar and see a beautiful woman. You approach her with a calm vibe. She's polite but distant. Most guys at that moment start trying harder, complimenting more, asking too many questions, trying to force a spark. But what if instead you made a witty comment, observed her vibe, and gave her space to respond with effort? What if you spoke like a man who's genuinely curious, but not emotionally invested in the outcome? What if you were a little playful, a little unpredictable? That subtle shift from chasing to challenging changes everything. Because now you're not just trying to win her over. You're making her wonder if she can keep you engaged. That's the mindset of a man who understands his value. He doesn't need to push. He knows that not every woman will respond, and that's okay. But the ones who do, they feel something different. A pull, a spark, curiosity. And that curiosity is where attraction begins. So remember this. The next time you're tempted to chase, pause. Shift your energy. Don't try to prove anything. Invite her into a moment, but don't force it. If you stop chasing and start challenging, with calm confidence, you stop being just another guy, and start becoming the one she actually wants to figure out. 2. Approach like you have options. Here's something a lot of guys don't realize. Women can feel whether you've got options or not, and that energy matters way more than your words. If you walk up to a woman with that please like me energy, she'll feel it instantly. It's in your body language. It's in your tone. It's in the way you look at her like she's your only shot at feeling desirable today. And guess what? That vibe, it kills attraction fast. But when you approach a woman like you already have options, like you could be interested, but you're not dependent on her reaction, it shifts the entire dynamic. Now she's the one wondering what makes you tick. She's reading you instead of being read. Let's break it down in simple terms. If you act like this one interaction determines your worth as a man, you're already putting yourself in a weak position. But if you approach like a man who's already validated, already fulfilled, and already knows what he brings to the table, now you're moving from neediness to presence. Women don't want to feel like they're being hunted down by a guy desperate for attention. They want to feel chosen by a man who could have other options, but chooses to be present in that moment because he's genuinely interested, not desperate. Approaching with options doesn't mean being cocky. It means carrying yourself like your world is full, with purpose, with people, with passions. It's the way you make eye contact, the way you hold your posture, the calm confidence in your voice when you say hi and mean it without trying to sound impressive. Here's what changes when you carry that energy. You stop worrying about rejection. You stop trying to get approval. You naturally create more interest because you're not seeking permission. You're offering a moment of connection. And that difference, women feel it. A man with options doesn't rush. He doesn't overcompensate. He's relaxed because he knows that if one woman isn't feeling it, it says nothing about his worth. So next time you approach, check your energy. Are you acting like she's your only shot? Or are you showing up like a man who's already winning and simply sharing a moment? Because the second you start approaching like you've got options, you become one. 3. Don't try to impress. Try to intrigue. If you want to lose a woman's interest fast, here's what you do. Try really hard to impress her. List your accomplishments. Flash your money. Drop a few alpha lines you found on the internet. It might get a fake smile, but it won't get her curiosity. And without curiosity, there's no connection, no spark, no reason for her to care. Here's the truth. A woman who's not already interested won't suddenly change her mind because you rattled off your resume or tried to prove your worth. That just makes you sound like every other guy who's more focused on being liked than being real. What actually works? Intrigue, making her curious about who you are, not by showing off, but by showing up differently. You intrigue a woman when you say things most men are too nervous to say. You intrigue her when you're relaxed in your own skin. You intrigue her when you ask real questions and actually listen. Trying to impress puts pressure on the moment, but intrigue opens it up. You're not trying to win her over. You're inviting her into a conversation she didn't expect to enjoy. This might mean making a bold but playful observation about her energy or vibe, instead of leading with a compliment on her looks, saying something that makes her think, not just giggle, teasing her lightly like you already know she can handle it. Not being afraid of a little silence instead of nervously filling every second. It's not about being mysterious on purpose, it's about being centered. Because when a man is centered, women naturally lean in to learn more. And if you can get a woman leaning in, even a little, you've already shifted the dynamic in your favor. Trying to impress is what guys do when they're afraid of being forgotten. But the men who get remembered, they create interest, not approval. So don't sell yourself. Don't pitch your value. Just be interesting. Be present. Be unpredictable in a calm, confident way. Because when you stop performing and start connecting, she doesn't just see you differently, she feels you differently, and that feeling, that's what makes her want to see you again. 4. The first 10 seconds matter more than you think. Here's a harsh truth. You can lose her attention before you even finish your first sentence. Women make snap judgments, not because they're shallow, but because they have to. They're constantly approached, messaged, stared at, judged, and talked to. So within the first few seconds of meeting you, she's already deciding one thing. Is this a man I should take seriously? Or just another guy wasting my time? And that judgment comes way before your pickup line or your best story. It happens in your energy, tone, presence, and body language, all within the first 10 seconds. So what does that mean for you? It means before you say a word, you've already said a lot. If you walk up tense, uncertain, eyes darting around, voice shaky, and posture low, you've already lost the room. It doesn't matter how smooth your words are. That energy tells her everything. On the flip side, when you walk up with calmness, self-awareness, and relaxed confidence, she feels it. Even if you say something simple, even if you're not the loudest guy in the room. And here's the key. What you say doesn't matter nearly as much as how you say it. You could walk up and say, "Hey, you looked interesting. I had to come say hi." If you say it with grounded presence and zero neediness, she'll lean in. If you say it like you're waiting for a grade or approval, she'll mentally check out. That's how fast the mind works. That's how fast women filter energy. So what should you focus on in those first 10 seconds? Eye contact. Not a stare down, but direct and calm. Voice tone. Relaxed, not rushed or overly rehearsed. Body language. Upright, open, controlled. Not fidgeting or closed off. Vibe. Like you have nothing to prove and everything to offer. Approaching a woman isn't a performance. It's a moment. And the first few seconds either invite her in or push her away. So stop overthinking the words. Start mastering the presence. Because those 10 seconds, they either open the door or shut it for good. 5. Your energy speaks louder than your words. Let's get real. A woman doesn't remember every word you said, but she always remembers how she felt around you. And that feeling is based on one thing, your energy. You can say all the right things, follow all the rules, and even have good looks, but if your energy is off, if it feels needy, fake, overly eager, or weak, she'll feel it, and she won't want to stay in that space for long. Here's what most guys don't realize. Energy is felt instantly. Before you finish your first line, she's already scanning your body language, tone, eye contact, and how you're holding yourself. She's tuning into your vibe, not your vocabulary. Let's say you approach a woman in a coffee shop. You walk over casually, a calm smile on your face, and say, "You look like someone who takes their coffee way too seriously. Am I right?" The line is light and playful, but it's your energy that makes it land. You're not rushing. You're not leaning in too close. You're not waiting desperately for her reaction. You're grounded, and that makes her feel safe, relaxed, and curious. Now imagine the same words, different energy. You fidget. You talk fast. You smile nervously, glance down, then look back up too quickly. You try too hard to sound clever. The words are the same, but the vibe is completely different. That second version, she'll want to escape. Not because of what you said, but because of how it felt being around you. Women don't respond to logic the way men do. They respond to emotion and presence. Your energy either makes her feel something good or nothing at all. So what shapes your energy? Your mindset before you approach. Whether you're outcome focused or just present in the moment. How much you're grounded in your own self-worth, not looking to be validated. Your energy tells her everything. Are you a man who's comfortable with himself? Are you just putting on a show? Are you really present or just rehearsing a script? If you're approaching a woman and she just wasn't feeling it, don't overanalyze the words. Ask yourself, what did my energy say about me? Because in the end, it's not what you say, it's how you show up. And if your energy doesn't spark something in her, she's already gone, even if she's still standing there. 6. Confidence without pressure is magnetic. Let's be honest, a lot of guys confuse confidence with aggression or control. They think if they walk up bold, throw some swagger into it, and speak with volume, they're being confident. But that's not confidence, that's compensation. Real confidence is calm, it's relaxed, it's rooted. And most importantly, it doesn't put pressure on the woman. That's the key right there, confidence without pressure. Because the second she feels like you need her to respond a certain way, whether it's laughing, flirting back, or showing interest, you've already lost the frame. You've made the interaction about you needing something from her, but when you're confident without attaching an outcome to it, everything changes. Now you're not trying to get anything, you're just sharing a moment. You're showing up as someone she might enjoy, not someone who's trying to be chosen. So how does that look in real life? You approach with a clear, direct vibe. "Hey, I noticed you. Had to come say something." Simple. You're not overly animated or trying to entertain her. You're not fishing for compliments or signs that she likes you. You're present, grounded, and okay whether she responds or not. That level of freedom, that's attractive, because it feels rare. Most guys are tense when they approach. They're on edge, waiting for a signal that says, She likes me, I'm safe. But women feel that weight. It puts pressure on them to react the right way, and no one likes to feel that. Now compare that to a man who doesn't need anything, who's simply expressing himself directly but lightly. His energy is strong but easy, confident but not forceful. He's not chasing validation, he's offering vibe. That kind of confidence draws women in. Not because he's loud or flashy, but because his energy says, I'm good either way. And ironically, that attitude creates more interest than anything you could say to win her over. Here's the truth. Women are tired of men who pressure them into validating their confidence. But when you walk up self-assured with zero neediness and no emotional weight on her shoulders, that feels refreshing. That feels different. That's what gets remembered. So the next time you approach, don't overthink the words. Focus on your state. Confidence with pressure pushes her away, but confidence with freedom, that pulls her in. 7. If you're not leading, you're just lingering. Let's be clear. Women are not attracted to indecision. If you hesitate, wait for a sign, or stand around trying to figure out if she likes you before making a move, she's already lost interest. And here's a tough truth some guys need to hear. If you're not leading, you're just lingering. And lingering is one of the fastest ways to kill any potential attraction. Now, leading doesn't mean dominating. It doesn't mean being forceful or controlling. Leading means you're decisive. You create the moment, you don't wait for it to happen. You move forward with intent, not hesitation. Most women are not going to show you they're interested first. They're not going to walk up and say, hey, I like your energy. Want to take the lead? That's on you. That's your job as a man. But what do a lot of guys do? They circle around the interaction, waiting for a perfect moment. They keep the conversation surface level, hoping she gives them a green light. They ask vague, weak questions like, do you want to maybe hang out sometime? That doesn't create attraction. That creates confusion. Leading means taking a risk. It means being willing to get a no without losing your cool. And that's what separates the guys who get remembered from the ones who fade into the background. Let's say you're talking to her and things are flowing. A guy who leads will say, let's grab a drink sometime. You seem like you'd be fun in the wild. Boom. Clear. Playful. Director. Compare that to the guy who says, would you maybe wanna hang out sometime if you're not busy or anything? One sounds like a man, the other sounds like a boy trying not to get hurt. Here's the thing, and I'm saying this with full respect. If you're afraid to lead, you're not ready to connect. Because attraction requires tension, movement, direction. If you're passive, you're putting that weight on her to steer the interaction. And most women won't do that. Not because they're mean, but because it kills the polarity. So ask yourself, are you showing up with clarity and direction? Or are you waiting for a signal to save you from making a move? If you want to attract a woman, especially one who isn't already sold on you, you have to lead. Not with pressure, not with ego, but with clear, grounded intent. Because if you're not leading, then you're just hoping. And hope is not a strategy. Attraction isn't given, it's earned in the moment. Here's the brutal truth a lot of guys don't want to hear. A woman doesn't owe you her attraction, no matter how nice, smart, or high value you think you are. Attraction isn't some reward for being a good guy. It's an emotional response to how you show up in the moment. Most men try to earn attraction through performance, by trying to say the right thing, look the part, or convince her they're worth it. But that's not how this works. Women don't respond to convincing, they respond to presence. Every section we went through boils down to this. You're not trying to win her over, you're inviting her to feel something around you. That feeling is built on confidence, clarity, and calm direction, not desperation, over-explaining, or hoping she gives you a chance. So here's a final challenge for you. Before you approach a woman, stop asking yourself, what do I say to make her like me? Start asking, how can I show up so that she feels something real? Because attraction is emotional, it's unconscious, it's not logical, and it's definitely not something you can talk your way into. If you want a woman to lean in, even if she wasn't interested at first, you have to lead with grounded presence, not polished lines. And remember this thought-provoking truth. A woman may not remember your name, but she will remember how she felt around you. So focus less on the performance and more on the presence. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a woman go from disinterested to fully engaged? What changed? Drop your experience in the comments. We're building real conversations here, not just views. And if you got value from this breakdown, stick around. This channel is here to help you grow, not just as a man who gets women, but as a man who understands